My stepmother told me I was a burden who didn't deserve a cent from my father's estate, but she didn't realize I was the one who actually owned the name she was using. I grew up in the shadow of my father's massive success in the luxury hotel industry, but I never cared about the money. After my mother passed away, my father married Vanessa, a woman 20 years younger who treated me like a ghost when he was watching and a servant when he wasn't. She convinced him that I was unstable and irresponsible because I wanted to study art instead of business. When my father suddenly passed away last year, Vanessa didn't even wait for the funeral to be over before she had the locks changed on our family home. She sat me down in a cold lawyer's office and told me that my father had left everything to her in a secret, updated will, and that I was lucky she was giving me $5,000 to disappear forever. What Vanessa didn't know was that my father wasn't as blind as she thought. Months before he died, he realized she was having an affair with his CFO and was planning to drain his accounts. Instead of a confrontation, he played the long game. He knew that the updated will she had coerced him into signing was legally flimsy, so he made a different move. He transferred the intellectual property rights, the trademarks, and the Royal Crest brand name, the very foundation of his hotel empire, into a private trust that only I could access. He told me in a letter he hid in my mother's old jewelry box. A house is just bricks, but the name is the soul. Keep the soul and you'll win the war. I spent 6 months living in a tiny studio apartment, working a retail job, and letting Vanessa believe she had won. She spent millions of my father's cash on a rebranding campaign, putting the family name on every billboard from New York to Paris. She even announced she was selling the flagship hotel to a predatory developer just to spite me. I waited until the day of the grand relaunch party at the flagship hotel to make my move. Vanessa was standing on a stage in front of hundreds of investors, bragging about how she had refined the brand and taken it to a new level of exclusive luxury. I walked onto that stage wearing my father's favorite watch and handed a cease and desist order to the master of ceremonies. I projected my ownership of the Royal Crest trademark onto the screen behind Vanessa. I explained to the stunned crowd that while Vanessa owned the buildings, I owned the name. Because she had used the name without my permission for 6 months, she owed my trust every penny of profit she had made, plus massive penalties for brand infringement. I told her that she could keep the empty buildings, but as of that second, she had to strip the name off every door, every towel, and every sign in 50 hotels across the globe. The financial fallout was catastrophic for her. Without the brand name, her investors pulled out immediately, and the banks called in her personal loans. She realized that she had inherited a pile of debt and empty rooms, while I held the keys to the legacy she tried to steal. I didn't stop there. I used the royalties she owed me to buy back the flagship hotel at a foreclosure auction for pennies on the dollar. I fired the CFO she was sleeping with and reinstated the staff members she had treated like trash. I turned the penthouse she had moved into a community art gallery, ensuring she would never set foot in my family's history again. Now, Vanessa is living in a small rented condo, and she's trying to sue me for emotional distress and corporate sabotage. She's telling the media that I'm a cold-blooded manipulator who tricked a grieving widow and ruined a billion-dollar business out of a petty childhood grudge. My father's old friends are split. Some say I was a genius for protecting my father's legacy, while others claim I'm the asshole for bankrupting my own family and making the scandal so public. They think I should have just negotiated a settlement and let her keep her dignity. So I have to ask, am I the asshole for bankrupting my stepmother by taking away the family name after she tried to leave me homeless? Or did I just protect what was always mine? Let me know in the comments if I'm the hero or the villain, and hit that subscribe button for more daily stories.